You know, I just got back from hearing the president deliver his State of the Union address. The president's a friend. I like Joe Biden. I have come to know him over the years. And he's a patriotic man who believes very deeply in the things that he talks about. I was pleased that he spoke about Ukraine and about our commitment to preserve democracy there and around the world, to preserve sovereignty of nations. I hope it's a message that we learn, which is if a nation is relatively weak or perceived as being weak, they are susceptible to being attacked by a stronger neighbor. It's one reason we keep America strong, very strong, hopefully so strong no one ever wants to test our will. So make sure that we continue to commit our resources to keep our military as the strongest in the world. I was happy also that he spoke about China and our commitment to preserving our friendships and alliances in the world, and the idea that China should be in competition with us but not in conflict with us. The president got off on the wrong foot when he said that some Republicans, he said, want to cut Medicare and Social Security. And there was just an immediate response from our side of the aisle where people said, no, that's just not true. No Republican wants to get rid of Medicare and Social Security, of the elected Republicans that I know of, certainly not in the Senate. And no one's proposing lowering the benefits. That was just plain and simple wrong. And I think you could probably tell he had to backtrack as he raised that topic and saw such a chorus of response. He also decided to talk about the deficit in a way that I thought was a bit disingenuous. He said he's brought the deficit down, and if you look at the math, why, in fact, it's come down. But what he ignored was the reason the deficit was so big before he came into office was we had an emergency plan as a result of COVID. And so money was being spent to help families, hospitals, airlines, businesses, small and large. And we spent a lot of money, trillions of dollars, trying to maintain the American economy. And yeah, that emergency is over, so we're not able to spend that money anymore. And for him to say that somehow he's fought to reduce the deficit is just kind of an exaggeration, let's put it that way. I wish he'd have spent some time talking about the deficit, however, and the debt that our nation has. I mean, as is the inclination of my Democrat friends, they typically rehearse a whole series of things they want to spend money on, which is what he did. And it's hard not to applaud for all the things he said he wants to do, but I know all those things cost money. And the question is, where are we going to get all this money? How are we going to reduce the deficit and the debt if we're going to be spending more and more and more money? And that I thought was an opportunity missed. He really, in my opinion, would have been better off being straight with the American people, saying that we're going to have to make some careful choices, just like American families do. We can't spend more on everything. We're going to have to eliminate some things that are not necessary. He didn't do that. So there was no real, if you will, painful medicine, untasty medicine that he delivered to the American people. Look, I was appreciative of the fact that I could be there and listen. I do agree with him that the nation is strong. We're going through some challenging times right now because of inflation. Inflation, by the way, that he caused. He and our Democrat friends, in addition to Ukraine's invasion and COVID, they spent $1.9 trillion without a single Republican vote in the House or the Senate. $1.9 trillion poured money out to states and enterprises all over the country, and it created more demand that caused more inflation. It's just the reality, and that's one of the things that's contributing to the difficult times that so many American families are facing. So a quick recap. There's a lot more. Obviously, he touched on a lot of topics, but I thought you might enjoy at least my immediate response as I got to listen to the president. Thanks much.